The gods are watching.
All right, welcome back. This is the Gods are Watching live, episode 4, I believe it is actually. We're running yet another skeleton crew. I don't know what everybody doing, but it is the holidays. Today is Black Friday. Happy holidays to you if you tapped in. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Ate good and all that. Got a chance to spread some love and feel some love from the fam and all that type of shit. We were live last night. If you didn't catch that, go tap in right quick. If you're entering the room right now, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe for me because we need that desperately to grow this channel even further than it is. And let's get it. Brandon, I wanted to go live because Brandon, you just was talking about the NBA. Yesterday we was talking about the NBA a lot. We were talking about a lot of things, but you just said, what did you just say about? You said the NBA doesn't do good with media.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that they do good with media. Well, let me see. I don't really know what their YouTube looks like. But it feels like they're not really. They make it so hard to watch your own teams especially if you live in the city that they play in.
What?
Yeah, just because like the blackout games. So like if you were to get if you buy NBA 2K and you get the premium one, they'll give you the NBA League Pass for free. So which I think that's a great deal.
What? I didn't know that.
It's not free because you're paying for NBA 2K, but you get.
I mean, I know, but I didn't even know. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so that's great, but like me as a Pistons fan, I live in Detroit. I can't use the League Pass to watch the Pistons games. It's like a blackout because I live in the city of the team that I want to watch. I can watch the Lakers, I can watch Milwaukee, I can watch any other team, but I can't watch the Pistons games. So like they do just such a terrible job. And
we were literally just talking about that yesterday because Ojo was saying that in Chicago on WGN sometimes you wouldn't even be able to watch the Bulls. And I guess he's talking about back in the 90s. So they've been doing the same shit forever. In terms of coverage or whatever. And that's what we were just saying. Like, I didn't like the fact that you get the League Pass and the League Pass doesn't have all the games on it. You have to go to other platforms to get all the games.
Yeah.
Or watch cable. Like, almost seems like it defeats the purpose. And it's really because they don't have control over their own broadcasts because they whore themselves out all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do something with those contracts to where they make it to where they can still broadcast it on their own proprietary networks or platforms or whatever. Because what the fuck?
Ultimately, it's still their product, so you would think
they would have rights.
If I have ownership of this product, they should put it in some of that sub print. Even though I'm selling to this, I internally I could do whatever the hell I want with my product,
right?
Especially when it comes to locality, a local game or something like that. Those should be the two guaranteed locations that have first dibs off rip, you would think.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to figure out how to like sign up for the Pistons now. So I know you had to go on Bally's because they were the ones who broadcast it. So I went to Bally Sports and they don't do it anymore. So just forwarded me to FanDuel Sports Network, and it says FanDuel Sports Network isn't available in my area. So like I don't even know if I can watch it. I don't even know if I
Pistons?
can. Yeah, I don't even know if I can sign up.
What?
Because it says it's unavailable in my area.
What do you have any kind of streaming like a cable or anything like that? Comcast or
no?
Do they? Oh, I was about to say because it used to be this one channel. It's like a local sports channel called
Let me see.
I can't think of it right now. It shows like all local sports. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
FSN?
I think that.
Which is Fox. And then
yeah.
It's so stupid. I don't like the way that they do that.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I can. I'm literally trying to figure out now. And at the very least, it's not easy to do, but it doesn't even look like I can. It's not even in the Detroit area. So
that's crazy.
I don't know how anyone's watching it.
Right. So who the fuck is watching the Pistons if we can't watch them?
Yeah, go down to the casino and hope they got it on TV.
and it's also partly on the Pistons because I mean I think they're in a contract or something, but the Suns owner HBO he signed something where basically all like local channels will play all the Suns games for like local.
As you should.
Yeah,
That should
that's
be
how
your first
that's
priority.
how you build
Yeah.
a fan base.
Yeah.
Right. That might be why the motherfucking stadium is empty all the damn time.
All right.
But I was saying you could go down to the LCA and stand outside and watch their TVs outside
Dog,
the
it's
building.
snowing.
All right. Here, let's go get
But
the steel garbage can.
Just as a recap from yesterday too, I wanted to get your perspective on the idea of the NBA doing away with the conferences. I know you said it's not official. I already knew that. I just saw that there was rumors of some sort of talks about it, and I don't even know if that's true. But I thought it was an interesting enough concept to sort of talk about it and get people's perspective on it. So we talked about it yesterday. What do you think, Brandon? Do you think that would be a stupid idea?
I don't know. I don't think it will end up happening. Just from like a financial point, just because like if you had to do like flying someone from Portland to Miami or something, in the first round, like it's just a lot more traveling, and they want to cut that down. So that's why I don't think it would happen. But I also wonder if it gives the Western teams an advantage, just because of the time change.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But it probably would have to be an advantage on both. It would be some kind of advantage on both teams because you got to think how do they split it? What is it? It's like 2-2-1. How do they do it? It's back and forth. Was it based on your standings before they choose how they do it in the playoffs? So I know generally, if I'm not mistaken, they I think somebody will have advantage, like you're saying, be it time zone coming from west to east or whatever. But that travel definitely has to be a hindrance.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
I mean, it's all the NBA players they have, or any professional athlete, they have routines that they do, sun up, sundown. But it's always easier to go from California to Detroit, and because you could still have it, then you have like the 3 hours or whatever. Versus when I go to California,
it's like you spent no time traveling. It's like
yeah, it's a little harder to wake up earlier to get back on your routine, so there's always going to be that advantage just because of how routine based it is. Even though they both kind of do have an advantage, it's just a little easier to go forward than backwards.
Yeah, when you got to think, you're sleeping in your own bed too, so you got that aspect being around folk, your folk, and you're comfortable. So yeah,
but from a fan look, I would love that if it were to happen. I think it. I don't know, because the league's changed. It's not necessarily like rivals as much as it used to be. I think it's more so player base. There are people who are fans of teams, but it's not the same. And people move around too much. You can't really have like rivals like how we used to. So I don't. Part of me is like, well, like you won't build rivals, but it's not like that anymore. So
I'm more so thinking about the playoffs because it's now you won't lock. Like basically what they're saying is that if all the best teams in the NBA are all on the West, then the finals will be all West teams. Or if it's if it's mostly Eastern teams or whatever. And I think the one thing that I would like to see is that eliminate the talks of how unfair it is for like LeBron to be coming out of the East because there's no competition over there. And they were basically saying before he went to the Lakers, like he would never survive in the West. You know what I'm saying? And I think even though, we've already gotten past that argument because he's in the West and he's doing okay, it would eliminate that argument because now you can't say, oh, you're running from the West, you going to the East because it's an easier ride. Now you're just going to have to be the best top 16 teams out of the entire league. And that's the one thing that I would like about it, though. So it's like if it's I don't know if it's Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's
You get the best
only up
competition.
the best competition, regardless of the conference. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't know if it would be a good idea.
That would be hard though, like you said, market based. If you got 16, if you got 12 coming out the West, you know what I'm saying, and the rest is out the East or whatever. That's kind of hard because the thing is about the playoff when you getting teams from each conference, all of that kind of stuff. You giving all of these little sub locations a chance to enter that playoff, get that playoff feel.
Right.
So,
Well,
and that's when teams get a lot of their bread too. During that playoff time, because you own prime time TV, people is focusing on,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that.
So real quick before we do move on, I just wanted to ask you real quick, Brandon, what do you think the NBA can do to increase their viewership? Because Fred Van Vliet believes that it's he think it's the refs.
The refs.
Yeah, because he said they're ass. They're making the game more unwatchable, basically.
Okay. What can they do?
So there is, according to what Derek was saying yesterday, there's some sort of a drop off in viewership this season in particular, especially compared to the last two seasons or 2 years ago or something like that. I can't remember the exact stat, but apparently the viewership is down this season.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is?
I think there needs to be less games, and I don't think that's ever gonna happen. It's too many games that don't matter. Most of the casual fans don't care about.
Which is why a lot of people only watch during May, June, July.
Yeah, and also
or
football,
May and June rather.
I'm not a big football fan, but football is like amazing. Like everyone's
People are
watching.
still invested in that.
Yeah. And like I guess football's probably like in a apex point right now, right? Like people saying like this
I
is the
think
best
so.
it's been.
I think so.
So like I said, I'm not really a big football person. So
neither am I.
They compete against the king, football's king, regardless in America. So
I mean, what I think, I was thinking about that too. Like football almost makes itself more valuable because it's like if you don't watch, then you're not going to get too many more opportunities to watch because there's only how many games in a season?
Football 18. Is it 18 or 16?
18,
yeah, it's not even. It's not a lot. Yeah, it's something like that. So
I think it's 18.
It's like if you don't catch it, then you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
with football, every game counts.
Every game counts.
Yeah,
you can't go on a 3-game to Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
17 games.
2 out of 3.
17 game season.
Out of 17 games over 18 weeks.
Yeah, you get that bye week.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
every game counts in football.
Every game matters, right? Which is why it's always everybody's always screaming and hollering when their team win, and all of that. Versus, like you said, when you watching the Pistons, they playing how many games? 84, 82 games? 82 games. So if you watch the Pistons and they lose to Indiana like they, if they lost tonight, nobody gives a fuck. So it's not, the stakes are not high. It's just like, whatever. I'll catch them niggas 2 days from now when they playing some other team that I don't give a fuck about.
Right.
But if all year, and I think that was their intention to trying to put that that tournament in the middle of the season because they're trying to, they're trying to boost the stakes.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think it's a great idea, but I think you're right. I think they do need to lower the amount of games. Why you say you don't think it'll ever happen though?
Because that means players taking less money. And
probably will have to.
Yeah.
It'll be less money all the way around the board because you paying to watch 82 games. You paying to attend 82 games. You paying for travel for 82 games. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
Right. So your season tickets will go down too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Everything got to adjust. Everything gonna take a L overall. Airlines, hotels.
Yeah.
All of that.
The stadium. I mean the arena.
Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're gonna see. But you had something else to say?
Also, the league's probably deep enough to get a couple more teams.
I was about to say they definitely can. It's about that time.
I heard that they was
trying to do?
expanding Vegas.
I mean, they always
Vegas and
expanding, but they could pick it up instead of what do they try to go on expansion teams? Is it some kind of limit? I don't remember anymore. I think when it first initially started with expansion teams, they were trying to do it within a certain time frame or when I guess talent wise, it was some kind of rule that I thought I heard, maybe an unspoken rule back in the day when expansion teams came around or something like that on when and where to when it was time to initiate them to choose two teams and the location, destination, and all that kind of stuff.
Nah, I don't know any rules. I think it was just more so is the product good enough to add more
in that location?
Yeah, for a while the NBA has been terrible in the 2000s. It just wasn't good basketball and it was slow. But now it's we got so many teams got like even last year Detroit was like the worst team or one of the worst teams in the league, but they have players or had players that people were at least interested in or at least good players. So there's not like a team that's bad. So like that's usually a time where good sign you can start expanding. So we'll see.
So you said Vegas and who?
Seattle.
Yeah.
They want to do right by
what they doing? Supersonics again?
Probably.
That would be dope.
They would have to.
Right, they're not gonna let them not do the Supersonics.
Yeah, I mean that brand's already made. That does have to work for you. They just gotta get Jeff Bezos to build an arena.
Why Jeff Bezos?
This is in Seattle.
That's where he's at.
Yeah, that's where Amazon headquarters are.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, yeah. I never knew that. But yeah, what's going on here?
It's gonna be the most high tech, efficient stadium in the world.
You see the fucking Clippers one?
That's the brand new one, right?
Yeah, each seat has a USB-C and USB plug
outlet. That's kind of sweet.
That's in Inglewood. They done built the motherfucking brand new arena in the hood.
I wouldn't even care. Just make my seat comfortable. I don't need all that shit.
Facts.
They got like a screen that's like a loop.
Yeah, I saw that. It's the whole screen goes in a 360.
Yeah, and each chair has like a control. You can like interact with the screen.
Somebody left a comment and said this randomly. I don't know why, but Monica or Remy Ma who will win in a fight. Definitely get Monica because she's from Atlanta. Did something happen between those two or something?
I have no idea.
I never heard nothing like that. I'm not putting no bitch up against Remy Ma though.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Because Monica, she act hood, but Remy Ma really did a 10-year bid or some shit.
You talk about 10-year bid, Monica? I mean Remy.
Monica's never been in a fight in her life.
I don't know. She from Atlanta, big dog. Who knows? But
I don't think so.
Remy was on the island. She was on Rikers, nigga. As far as I know, I think that's where she was. I don't even know for sure. But anyway, huh?
She left Fast Boost, right? I saw he got.
Man, I was just looking that shit up too. I was watching that the other day, but I couldn't find no definitive like media. Plus, it's like super gossipy. So I didn't necessarily. I heard. Like, I don't want to talk about that necessarily, but I heard that the other day. She was mad that he moved on, but I couldn't find no actual evidence of that. And the chick he fucking with is, huh? Yeah.
She mad. What the fuck I'm supposed to do?
Right. Wait or fight. What I heard is that she was saying she was hoping that he would fight more for their love or something. But bitch, fuck you. What are you talking about? But apparently the woman he fucking with is a boxer. That's what I heard.
Oh shit.
And she said some shit about boxing her or boxing. She like, I love fighting or something. She said like she was basically saying it subliminally. I don't know. I don't want to talk about all that super gay ass gossipy shit. But anyway, I do want to talk about this Kendrick Lamar album that came out. I don't know if you heard it yet, Brazil. I don't think you have, but we could just briefly kind of go over it a little bit. I want to get Brandon's opinions on camera.
Okay, my bad. I was getting a call. Man, I love this album. It's been on repeat. Every day it's a new song that I like more, or that
How
I'm
many
tired,
tracks?
or that like I
Like
don't
12.
want to hear
Yep.
for a little bit, and then like I'll go back to the song I don't want to hear for a little bit. It's like, wow, this song's fire. Why was I skipping it? Yeah, man. I didn't like it first listen or two. It's not that I didn't like it. It was like I just had, like it's not your typical Kendrick album, and I was kind of hoping for that. And then I was like, well, just let's take it for what it is. Like I thought all the beats were fire. He did a really good job with his beat selection, dog.
I agree.
I don't know what's going on with him lately, but he hasn't had a bad beat.
He's definitely in a different creative space than he was maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, man. And
I'm working right now.
You can tell he's experimenting a little bit, but yeah, man, he sounds good. He sounds like he been in the studio every day.
Yeah, I think what happened was, so I don't know if you heard in the song Gloria, number 12. That song was about him writing from the perspective writing of him being in love with his pen, and he wrote the whole song as if he was talking about his wife or something.
Yeah.
And in that song, he said something like, basically he said something like he was trying to write fabrications and then he ran into writer's block. So I think he went through this spell. I don't know what point in time he's talking about, but I would imagine it's somewhere between Damn and Mr. Morale, or maybe, because he did put out the Black Panther album somewhere in there. But I think somewhere in that 6-year period, he might have gotten to a place where he wasn't really tapped in with the music like he should be or whatever. That's the way, at least that's what I took from that line in Gloria. And I think once he got this resurgence, he's like a different artist now. It's not totally different. Yeah, that too. Because it just kept ramping up and up and up and up, especially after Black Panther. But I think he's a different artist now in terms of like his approach to the shit. Like, I mean, even if you listen to like Family Ties, him and Keem, or the shit that he did on Keem's album and shit like that, he sounds like he switched styles or something. And this album kind of reflects that. I kind of want to just say fuck the algorithm real quick. I mean, not algorithm. I want to say fuck YouTube real quick.
Don't do it.
I'm about to do it.
Also, this album has been like is like 2 or 3 months old. All these songs are definitely after the beef. And I read somewhere that some of the people on GNX didn't find out about, or they got the beat like 2 or 3 days before the album came out.
They got the what? The beat.
Yeah. Like a week or so before the album came out.
What you mean? His features?
Yeah, on GNX, the last song. The song, like the actual song title.
Oh, wait. I don't understand what you're saying. They got the beat.
Yeah, the features. They weren't locked in until like a week or so before the album dropped, from what let me see if I can confirm that, but
so I'm gonna play the intro. Why is it out of order? So I'm gonna play a little snippet of each song. Come on now.
Should probably be talking over it.
Yesterday,
yeah, exactly.
Whacked out my mural. That energy will make you niggas move to Europe.
See, it's
for me, yeah, that's for sure. The love and
I gotta move this tab.
Cure.
All right, my bad. I think aesthetically this album feels different than an average Kendrick Lamar album, because it sounds, his beat selection is a little different than it normally seemed like it would be. It's not jazzy no more. It's not I mean, the first album, or not the first album, Good Kid, it wasn't so jazzy, but everything after that seemed like it was a lot more musical than this album is. Where this album kind of feels more like Good Kid to me. It kinda in the beat selection, like the way that he was picking beats that weren't so. He wasn't being performative with that. He was just picking beats that slap. Like, and that's what niggas was saying. They were saying like he needed to come with a bunch of bangers this time, especially after Mr. Morale, because Mr. Morale was so.
And all the new fans and stuff.
Yeah, and it was overly introspective. Mr. Morale was. So it was like that album. I ain't really like Mr. Morale, to be honest. I didn't like that album that much. It was cool. It was a few songs in there that I love, but the album overall, it was just kind of bored me.
If you wonder how I did it,
Yeah.
nigga,
When did this officially drop?
Last Friday? Last Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some shit like that. It was just last week.
Out the way.
Okay.
Never let no one put smut up on your name. Yeah,
At first, I thought GNX meant Generation X or some shit. But
Buick. What's that car?
yeah, he talking about that Grand National X.
Yeah.
And I didn't, because in one of them songs, he said the only thing I ever wanted was a Grand National. In this, I want to play this too.
In this video, one of them videos, he's skirting in on them boys.
This video here. Where's it at? That's not him.
Look hard.
Top.
So this right. This song is not on the album.
Yeah. Me and you were talking about, and we don't think that this is the actual album.
I don't either.
This feels like a mixtape.
So right here, there's two cars. This is what made people theorize that there's two albums, because he's getting out of the Grand National on the right, but there's another car. So they're saying the next album is going to be that other car. And then one of the clues is that. So I don't know if you know how they wrote this out, Ojo, but this video dropped like last Friday morning or something like that. It dropped, let's say it dropped at 8:45. The album came out at 8:50, like a few seconds later, a few minutes later. And when this trailer dropped and then the album dropped right after, everybody noticed immediately that this song that's in this trailer ain't on the album. So, and then I also remember hearing whispers about there being a Taylor Swift feature on the album. And she's not on this album that came out. So they're saying there might be a whole other album. But what I've been hearing is that it might be a deluxe, not a whole extra album. Because even on, I think it was Squabble Up, he said double back like a deluxe. And then even, I forget my man's name, but it was one of those features off that GNX joint that said he's not done and there's more songs to come. And he said, I know he's coming with a deluxe. So I don't know if there's a whole other album and a deluxe coming, but I think, or at least I hope, that he's dropping a whole extra album before the Super Bowl.
I don't know if it's going to be before the Super Bowl.
I would hope it would be.
I would think that it will come after. I don't know. I feel like this would be the Super Bowl would be better to announce an album, especially because this one is like kind of like taking off. Like this, what did it do? 300 and something this week?
There's 325,000, I think. Somewhere in that range, 340,000.
Is it the best first week of an album this year?
Probably, yeah.
I just don't see them stepping on that. But I mean, also,
I see what you're saying.
It's his, it's his label, so maybe there's a benefit to it, especially because we gonna buy it. You know, he's so in demand right now with him being gone for so long, and especially this shit. This album, this will make someone a fan who says he's boring or whatever. Like this is anything but that. This is like a really good album, and especially it's crazy because this is like such a low effort for him. Most of the song has like I don't want to like pretty basic hooks.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like making noises.
Yeah, it's not a overly produced, overly written Kendrick album. And that's what I was saying. Like when the first day that it came out, me and you were talking and we were saying that it felt more like a mixtape than it does an album because it's just songs. It's not really like a cohesive. There's no skits, there's no transitions, there's really no depth in it. The only real skit that you got was that the mariachi singer in the beginning of the intro, and that I think he was also on Gloria
and Reincarnated.
And
she's on Gloria.
Yeah. So
yeah, and he met her during the Dodgers World Series, and that was 2 months ago.
I was just watching that. It was a video of her thanking him and singing and saying a bunch of stuff in Spanish that I didn't know what the fuck she was saying. But I think I hope you're wrong. I hope there is an album coming in January. Because boy, if we get a full album with this, and another thing that I forgot to mention is that they were saying that this album is probably an appetizer for the actual album because the Heart Part 6 was on here.
Yeah. I hope I'm wrong too, by the way.
Yeah. And they said usually the Hearts come out a couple months before the album every time. Mm-hmm. For the last 15 years. So I don't know. But this album is amazing. You said it grew on you over time. I liked it immediately. And that's when I had to maybe face the music that maybe I'm a Kendrick Glazer or something. Or maybe I just liked it.
I didn't dislike it. I was like, oh, it just wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was a little bit of a shock. And then like the second or third time, I was like, yeah, this is fire. I was off.
Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I liked every song. I listened to it, and then some of the songs grew on me even more. I can't remember which one it was. Let me see. Where were we at? I need that track list back. Oh, no. Don't play. All right, so the track list is here. I hate Google so much. The way that they do their ads now. They squash all the actual results under ads. But anyway, TV Off was immediately grabbing me. Hey Now, it was immediate. It was, what's the one song? GNX is the one song that I was like, I don't really like this song at first, but then I liked it. Peekaboo was weird. And the beginning of TV Off, the first half of TV Off was weird to me. That beat is kind of strange to me. Mm-hmm. But it all grew on me enough to where I could listen to this whole album with no skips.
Same.
Gloria is a little slower. So it's kind of like, I don't want to hear that all the time, but I do like the song a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's better the first, it's one of those songs that's so good like the first few times, but like after the reveal, like, it's kind of like.
Yeah, it's kind of like Duckworth.
Yeah, you just kind of, at this point, you're just listening to the music.
Because I know the story, right?
Yeah. This
nigga left TDE and now he has two SZA features on his album.
I'm sure TDE loves that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do too. And I think he's keeping them close. I don't think he's distancing himself from them. I just think he literally wanted better splits. So he left TDE to get control of his money. Mm-hmm. But he's still around. I mean, even when he was beefing with Drake, Top Dog was kind of like all over that beef because he was like, he's the one that said that's enough. He told him basically like, nigga, go ahead. That's the end of the beef. It's over. So it's like he still got them in his ear, in his corner or whatever. So
right.
But yeah, man, this album was dope, man. I hope we get to see more music, or at least that deluxe before the Super Bowl. You think he's gonna perform TV Off at the Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely. I'm wondering if that's going to be like a blend with Not Like Us because it's damn near the same beat.
Yeah, even the way it starts out.
So
Are y'all tired of Not Like Us?
I
I
was.
think everyone is, but
But
so
when
they
it come
said
on
that the
after
numbers are.
GNX,
Yeah, you
After I heard
can't
about
not
the
listen to
suing,
it.
after I heard you was suing, I started listening to it again.
Right. I'm about to play a little bit of TV off.
Mhm.
Why it's not playing?
This is a West Coast album, bro. A lot of it sounds like Bay Area stuff.
Yeah. The
This ain't Not Like Us sounded like Oakland.
the whole album is the most, like, that's what I was saying. I'm like, this album is just, it's like the most LA album he's ever done. I mean,
It's a whole West Coast album though, because like this is a West Coast kind of, or sorry,
Yeah.
like Bay Area is kind of
Bay Area, yeah, exactly. I didn't even mean LA. I meant to say, yeah, it's West Coast, and I don't know. Like, obviously we know he LA, he West Coast, but I don't think his music really sounds like it a lot.
No, he sounds like West Coast, but his music doesn't sound
Right. But that's another thing that changed with him over the last maybe 5-6 years, is that he sounds more LA, even with the vernacular.
Yeah, he leans into
Like,
it a little bit more.
the way that he rap with Keem and the shit that he says. When he did Not Like Us, or when he did all them other shits, when he did Euphoria and all of that, he was using like gang terminology, basically, squabble up. All that shit is LA terms.
Mm-hmm.
All that's gang shit. And he's been doing that more and more. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the fuck done got into him. It's like maybe later in his career, he's trying to connect back with his home. But this album is so LA.
I wonder if that is what he's doing though.
What, trying to connect?
I mean, he's so disconnected from fame. We don't see anything from him. He's clearly keeps a very close knit, group. So I wonder if that is kind of what he is doing. I wonder if he is living semi-regular.
Yeah, maybe. Like you're saying, he been in LA.
Yeah, LA loves him.
Yeah, facts. I just want to play this transition and we can move on.
No, the TikToks have been so funny.
Dog. Hey. I wonder if I could find that one video. You seen the one where the dude was yelling at his brother or whatever because he didn't put mustard on his hot dog?
I've seen a couple of those, but I seen one. It was this white dude. He was like, he went World War One, and someone just threw something at you. Because the
mustard gas. Yeah. Let me see if I could find it. I don't even know. I don't know how to even word that meme.
TV off meme.
Here you go, right here.
You African?
That's so random, and I also like the way that he's trying to turn mustard up too, because it's like he's mustard is having like a resurgence right now. I won't say he fell off, but producers be having their waves, and Kendrick is almost single-handedly responsible for what's going on with mustard right now. Because after Not Like Us, it was really over for that for his downtime, and now he back, and then I was worried.
Drop basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I was worried about like what position Mustard would be in after the Not Like Us shit. Because I was kind of confused, I ain't gonna lie, about how much Mustard leaned into the beef too. Like making it clear that he don't fuck with Drake. And I'm like, I hope he's not just doing this just because he's like clinging on to the fame of this hit. And now he's gonna kind of box himself out. But then for him to turn right back around and have this hit with Mustard too, kind of like it turns it from a one-hit wonder sort of situation to like Mustard's really stamped with Kendrick now. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was like kind of random to me too. But I'm trying to. What all has Buster done? Like he did YG.
A bunch of shit for YG. He did a bunch of shit. I think he was producer for LMA.
Oh, he did. I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, yep. He did that for Sean. Yep.
Boot up.
Yeah, boot up for LMA. Yeah, he that nigga for real. He got a lot of hits, but he been kind of dying the last few years.
Yeah.
Because that sound kind of went away. But clearly he don't just only do that sound like the typical, what's that called? It's like he make those dance records where they're more like up-tempo drum patterns and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was really known for, especially back when YG first came out. You know, damn near 10, well, it was 10 years ago.
Right. Well, I mean, LA motherfuckers for sure gonna stick together. So,
right.
I mean, and if he not with Drake, it's not like Kendrick's a good alternative.
Right.
So,
but yeah, great album. I hope we get that deluxe.
Try to jump on it.
Yeah, he got some shit on here. That one joint. Oh, I gotta play this. What's the name of that one joint? It's not Peekaboo, is it? It's the Baby Blue joint. What is it called?
Blue Dodger Blue.
Blue Dodger Blue. Yeah.
Fire too though.
Not even Dodger Blue. What's the one where he was where the synths came in with Doty? Hey, that's my bitch. Hey,
yeah,
you said, hey now.
Hey now, say now. Like basic hook.
Hey now, say now, yeah.
Just
listen
the way
to these.
This sounds like LA shit.
Listen to these synths. Oh my god! Because at first it's just this. It's just a basic ass beat, knocking ass bass, and then that shit turns super LA with the synths right here, and it keep building. Like that shit is super LA.
Dog, I'm so mad I haven't been to LA this year.
I think them niggas so hyped up out there. You would fuck around and get smoked for no reason right now. I don't want to go to LA. I don't want to go to LA.
Man.
Right now. I'll let shit cool down a little bit.
No,
they done had a Super Bowl. What was that? Last year?
2 years.
2 years. Because last year was Usher. The 2 years ago one was when Kendrick performed that day. I mean that night. But yeah, man, great album. What else? I mean, we can move on to the Drake versus UMG shit and kind of touch on that a little bit. At least just a little bit while Edward is not here. But I do want to know, Ojo, you heard about that?
Tad bit. What's the fill me in on it?
So basically, he's suing Universal for allowing Not Like Us to come out because he feel like it defames him, and that they knew it wasn't true, but they still allowed it to come out because Kendrick is signed to UMG as well. And he also was in the middle of negotiations with them, getting his contract back up. And I think he's trying to get $6 million out of them. And he feels like they're using this beef.
$6 million? That ain't shit.
I was confused by that too, but that's the number I heard.
But where does freedom of speech come in? I don't understand. Just like with that case with when my man just got off on this case, how do they say you got freedom of speech on one hand, and then on another hand, they want to say no, it's none of that.
Right. I don't know. So I want to go to this video that she did about this. I don't know if it's still up. Here it is.
Y'all know I'm always trying to figure out why, because it made no sense. Like, y'all know Kendrick just dropped the new project or whatever. Drake was already getting dragged for looking like whatever on that stream. Drake's been just looking very soft. Like,
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music. In case you didn't know, I'm here. As you can see, fully intact, mind, body, and soul. In case you were wondering. Right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it. Cheers to everybody.
Always live by.
I don't know what it is about light skin right now. Maybe because it's the winter and he ain't got no tan. He's just really in his feelings. But he's been looking real crazy. And I felt like to do that back to back to back, the stream, you got new music that's supposed to drop from your artist. Why would you put yourself in that position? So I reached out. And I spoke to someone close to Drake's camp, and here's what they told me. The reason why Drake decided to move forward with this lawsuit was because he felt like the record label, which is supposed to be his record label too, and he makes them a lot of money. Y'all know Drake is a huge artist. He felt like they were using this song and funding money that he helps them make to bury him as an artist. And y'all are probably like, what the hell? Like, why would a record label want to bury somebody that's making the money? So what's been happening behind the scenes is that Drake has actually been in negotiations, from what I'm hearing, with the label. He was making, like, he had like a deal for like $4 million or something like that, but he was asking for $6 million now with his deal being over and them renegotiating. So basically, he felt like the label did everything that they could to make Kendrick Lamar's song the biggest song, this is all alleged, the biggest song, to basically disvalue him, so that now he's at a point where no label is going to want to give him more money than the deal that he just got, because he's having a hard time right now. He's not beating allegations because Kendrick's song and everything that Kendrick did is doing so well. He looks crazy. He doesn't have any new music out. The music that he did try and put out and all that, remember he put out that big file of all that like the videos and all that stuff. It went nowhere. Nothing right now is sticking from him but drama like this. So from what I was told, aside from a person, you know, close to his camp, was that the reason why he put this lawsuit out is because he felt like it was his only way to kind of, it's more about the label and not about Kendrick. Y'all know it's still going to look crazy, so it doesn't matter. But he basically wants the label to understand that he's going to fight. Like, he's asking for his money. He wants more money than what he was in the deal for prior to. And again, I was told that it was $4 million. Now he's asking for $6 million. But that's not what they're trying to do. So they're basically, in his opinion, and what he's alleging, is that the label is trying to corner him where he'll have to sign with them, because where else are you going to go if they're not going to give you more money than what we're already offering you? And now you can't ask us for more money either. He also, from what I was told, felt away. And you guys remember, there have been a lot of conversation around the fact that there was supposed to be some like cease and desist or whatever allegedly sent when Spotify put up the Not Like Us song, and all the other streaming platforms too, because remember, Kendrick used the photo of Drake's house on the map, and then there was a whole shooting at the house or whatever. I'm not connecting the two whatsoever, but what I'm told is that Drake also brought that up to his label. Like, y'all, if I was a Taylor Swift, like, I'm a big artist, I make y'all a ton of money, I'm like one of the biggest artists in the world. If I was a Taylor Swift, y'all would protect me. Y'all would go to hell and back for me, and that's not what's happening. I've asked for my, you know, the address, the location of my house on this map to not be used as the art for this song. Y'all didn't go fight for that. I've asked for more money. Y'all basically trying to stall me out and tell me I'm not worth the more money that I'm making y'all, but y'all are literally living off of me as an artist. And from what he's saying, at the same time, I'm finding out that you guys are using that money to fund my rival, like literally my rival act, versus just like, you know what I mean, putting money up on both sides and just letting the culture do what it does. And I'm, you know, I think one of the biggest things is that even in the song Not Like Us, right, Kendrick uses the word pedophile. We all know the allegations and all that or whatever, even though Drake has not come out specifically and responded to a lot of those things directly, we know bro is butthurt. Like, you have to be. There's no way you're not upset about that. The whole world. You got kids in freaking...
So look right here. She said, correction, 400 and 600 mil, not 4 or 6 mil. And that's what I was confused by too. Because you, like you said, it's like 6 million ain't shit for a nigga like that. But 400 million, and he's trying to renegotiate for 600 million, 200 more million. So And he feels like because of those negotiations and they don't want to have to pay him, that they're using this moment to destroy him and devalue him during negotiations, which isn't that hard to believe to me. You know, even though I'm on Kendrick's side in the beef, it's like not outside of the realm of possibilities in my mind that they would use this moment to sort of step on his negotiations.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if he's trying to get another almost $250 million out of them, it would be easy for them to destroy his numbers right now and make him look bad in a court of public opinion and be like, nigga, after this year you've had, I'm not giving you no fucking $600 million. And then they're probably betting on paying him low balling him, and then knowing that he's probably going to heat up again in the next couple years and do what he always do.
Mm-hmm.
So they just trying to get in at a cheaper price. That's all. I mean, if it's true.
So if he think all that, I don't think he wins that in the court of law.
No,
I don't think so either.
Why not just say forget him and do the independent? You got enough bread.
And that's what people have been telling them for the last long time. They've been talking about that. And apparently, I believe he did
own all your stuff then.
I believe he is somehow independent a little bit right now. I don't know how that shit works. But people have been saying that, and or at least saying that he's been using the possibility of him going independent as leverage,
bargaining chip,
because they know he can do it. I mean, if anybody could do it, he could do it. Because if Drake don't got a label, he's still going to sell millions of albums or singles whenever he decide to drop that motherfucker.
I think this beef with him, I think he's definitely got hurt by this, but I think it's still billions of millions of people that's still checking for Drake. Whatever he dropped, they gonna check it.
Right. All over the world too.
All over, right? Because like you said, he fits in a different category than Kendrick as far as categories go. I think he crossed the boundary to a pop star.
He's a superstar, exactly.
Yeah, so I think he will still sell regardless. Yeah. I think this might have put a little smudge on him, but I think he still will do numbers.
I think the fact that he's negotiating in the first place is kind of is indicative of the fact that he doesn't want to go independent. And I think he doesn't want to go independent because he likes having the machine on his side. And I think a person of that stature knowing, kind of like indicating that is kind of telling, because I think he knows that it's a cheat code to have these labels in your pocket. Because not only do they have the reach, the manpower, the money, the platform, and the relationships with all these companies. If Universal said we want to do a whole campaign with Best Buy or Target, and we want Drake posters, life-size cardboard cutouts in every Target, they have the power to do that. Where Drake could probably get it done with his team, but it would take way more work. Or let's say the fact that Universal literally owns like 20% of Spotify. So if Drake, if Universal wants to get a song in rotation and heavy spins, they have the ability to go right ahead and do that because they have a back door into the algorithm.
Right.
So he don't want to go independent because he know he will be up against this machine, especially competing with the other artists in the game who do have the machine, even as big as he is. But yeah, I think this is I don't know what's going to happen. I think what he's trying to do, because as far as I know, this isn't an official lawsuit yet. He's trying to do, I forget what they call it.
Scare tactic?
No, it's some sort of preliminary lawsuit. It's like preparation for a lawsuit, and it's like where he's basically legally making it required for them to bring their receipts to the table.
Okay.
It's like a finding. I forget the term, but they're like he's trying to audit them essentially. Like, what have y'all been doing?
Open up the books and let me see what's really been going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's trying to see if they've been putting money behind Not Like Us to boost its performance. They also said, I'm gonna play this other video too. Let me see where it is.
That's the Breakfast Club chick.
Yep, that's Lauren LaRosa. And then Rory said something about it. Here it is right here.
I have no dog in this fight. I like Kendrick's music.
All right.
I like Drake's music. I also think both of them have used bots via UMG, whether they knew it or not. What stood out to me in that paperwork was the accusation that UMG.
What you say?
Drake behind the camera holding a gun.
Oh, I'm making him.
lowered their licensing rate by 30% for Not Like Us. Just a quick history lesson. How we even got
So you heard what he just said?
Mm-hmm.
They're lowering their licensing rate for Not Like Us specifically by 30%, which means Spotify, Apple, or whoever that they're distributing the song to would have to pay less per stream for the song, which incentivizes them to push the song to the front because they're making more money off of that song.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this is, but if that is true, then it would explain how the song was every fucking where. I'm gonna let him finish talking though.
the value of what a stream is was based off Spotify and the three majors negotiating on what that value would be. What makes it even crazier is all three majors have actual stock and ownership within Spotify. That would be illegal in any other business in the world, but it's the music industry, so anything can
Exactly.
fly. To the point that I worked at a major when Spotify went public, and they emailed all of us as employees and said, you cannot buy stock because that would be insider trading. Now imagine you're an artist and you know that the people that own your music plus the people that distribute your music, which is a whole separate tech company, are in cahoots to define what a dollar means within the music industry.
Yes.
And then you later find out that for one artist and one song, they devalued that dollar. You wouldn't have an issue with it? I have no dog in this fight.
I agree with that. I agree with that because if that is true, then essentially it's all insider trade and it's like the music mafia, and the music mafia is basically saying, we want to destroy this nigga to get him the fuck up out of here, because we're in the middle of negotiating. He's trying to get almost what 2/3 of $1 billion out of us, and well, we're gonna, now that we have this prime opportunity and his opponent basically trying to destroy him, we're gonna basically make it easier for his opponent by devaluing the amount that they have to pay for these songs.
But I understand what he got to do, but there's other ways to make up that money that he's essentially saying he will be losing, being if he's trying to get 600 mil. And they offer him 400 mil. There's got to be another way to recoup that on the back end somehow. You take more points on per record, or you know what I'm saying? Some other way. Okay, if y'all gonna pay me this, if that's what y'all feel like this, then y'all got to give me this. It's a negotiation.
Yeah.
Of course they want to lowball you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
If I could get you for $2 instead of $5, of course. Even if I could get you for $4.99.
Yeah.
It's a negotiation, bruh. But I mean, open up the books. I understand.
Also, because he put out that 100 gigs without the label. Did he do that? Like,
Yeah, he did that on his own.
so was that his attempt to kind of show that he didn't need them and it'll kind of fuck himself over?
Backfiring on him. And that's I heard whispers of that when he first dropped 100 gigs. First of all, I want to make it clear that I have not looked at an ounce of anything from that 100 gigs. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what came out of it. I saw, huh?
You didn't listen to the songs?
No, and I haven't. I don't even know what songs we're talking about. And then the there's a few video clips that I know came out of that 100 gigs that I ended up seeing. I think he was in the studio working on some old songs and shit like that, or he was in the studio with other artists and shit. And now I saw that. I even think the video came out with him in the studio with Kendrick or some shit. I don't remember.
No, he wouldn't put that out right now.
But the 100 gigs I heard way back when it came out was an attempt to sort of backdoor the label and to Yeah, like he was proving his muscle by saying, you know, I got content and I could push this shit out. But then nobody gave a fuck. And
Well,
that's what Lauren LaRosa just said.
the songs were mid.
What were the songs?
Who cares? You on mute. But the first there was
Yeah, I
a
know.
song
I was
that,
yelling at my kids. Sorry.
it was a song with Atlanta. I think it was Lotto.
Oh, I heard that. I didn't know that came out of there. It was Lotto. Was it Migos?
And 21. I don't know if it was Migos.
I don't think it was Migos either. It was
Was
Lotto,
it Thug?
21, and who?
Was it Thug? Like a Thug?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't remember the song, the third song, but the second song was like No Face, Face Off, No Face, No Face. That was like the only song that I liked.
No Face was cool. I didn't know that came out of the 100 gigs either. So I guess I have heard the 100 gigs, but I didn't know that I did. But it's 100 gigs, so it had to be more than 3 fucking songs.
Yeah, it was just videos. There was a video of him talking about some song that was on Take Care, and he was saying it was about Rihanna, and he was telling his mom that, and his mom's like, "Yeah, I gathered," but I didn't go through anything. It was just stuff that I heard through like Roy Mal podcast or like just Reddit. I didn't go through it. I have no interest to watch 100 gigs of random videos.
The consensus that I'm getting is that nobody gives a fuck about anything that he's doing right now.
Nah, unless he's talking about the beef. I don't really care what he has to say unless the music's good.
He gonna have to take a fucking break. And this is the crazy thing to me is that before the beef, the nigga was saying I'm about to take a few years off, and then he didn't take a. He immediately dropped another album right after he said that, and then he got into the beef because after Certified Lover Boy, he said he was taking a break. Certified Lover Boy came out. That was 3 years ago. Then he drops. What's the last one? Honestly, never mind. No, it was 2 more albums.
Honestly, never mind. What's the one with 21?
Her Loss.
Yeah.
I'm about to look up his discography right quick because I'm curious now of the timeline. Because I know so his albums. So yeah, Certified Lover Boy came out 3 years ago. For All the Dogs is the one that I'm missing. So he had the nigga said he was going to take a break, and then this nigga dropped 3 more projects. And I remember Joe Budden saying, or somebody was basically saying, like, nigga, what happened to you taking a break? You need to take a break. But he won't. He won't take a break. And now you done fucked around and didn't take the break, and now you ended up in the worst beef that you probably could have ended up in at a terrible time, according to you being in negotiations with Universal, nigga. So you should have took the fucking break. And now, in the middle of the worst year that he's ever had in his career, he's talking about dropping another album. No. It's time to shut the fuck up and sit down. Because now he's talking about he about to drop the album with Party.
Yeah, isn't it? That's coming out this year.
It's supposed to be coming out like this, or he said it's, the last thing I heard, which was like last week, he said it's like 80% done or some shit like that. And my thing is, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear shit from you right now. You got to shut the fuck up, man. Take that L. So I don't know, dog. I don't know if this is just my position because I don't like that nigga. But I'm not interested in hearing shit that he has to say. Y'all just be coming to interrupt me every episode like you don't see that I'm on live. You see this? Here, take this. What are y'all doing on DoorDash?
I wanted some Skittles.
They about to order DoorDash. At this point, them interrupting me is a running joke with the show. But anyway,
I mean, it's like that on PSN too.
Man, he just casually walked up, like slowly, like, can you unlock the phone? Anyway, yeah, I don't know if it's just my bias, but I'm not interested in hearing shit from Drake right now. It's like your word to me. It's like after a beef, whatever rapper lose,
be quiet for a while.
yes, Whatever rapper lose,
and regather themselves, gather their thoughts.
This is I never thought that someone would take a worse like L than Ja Rule, dog.
you think it's worse?
Nigga, he's suing. He is suing. What do you mean?
And Ja Rule took a pretty bad L.
Ja Rule, at least he went out and said I was a crackhead.
Yeah, he took that shit and he fought back pretty well. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and they're still on side with him. He'll still say shit about it.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, and he came out with what Clap Back in New York,
which was hits.
right?
Right.
But dog, who you think is like more happy that they are alive right now? Seth MacFarlane for missing 9/11 or J. Cole out of this?
Seth MacFarlane missed 9/11.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the plane.
What?
Yeah, you know that?
Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy?
Yeah.
What? No, I didn't know that.
That's what. Yeah, he was supposed to be on a plane from Boston or something, and he overslept. And that's what he was pretty early on making 9/11 jokes, and people were like, "Well, maybe it's okay," because he was kind of supposed to be
right. It was supposed to be his tragedy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he was supposed to be on a plane. He overslept, I think. But J. Cole, he apologized, and it was looked at as the weakest move in hip hop, like the worst thing that happened in hip hop beef. And now, like,
he dodged.
Obviously, it was like probably a good idea to not diss Kendrick, and now he doesn't look like the weakest thing in hip hop beef.
It was like he skipped his vacation in Hiroshima.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, I don't know how that would have turned out, but I didn't like that from the jump. I didn't mind the apology. Everybody else said they had a problem with that shit. I didn't, because I understood, and I know enough about them to know that they like each other. They love each other. Me and Ojo went to the Palace and watched them niggas perform, and they came out on stage together. That was just in 2017.
Remember they were supposed to have a mixtape forever?
That shit felt super genuine too.
It did.
Like it wasn't forced with them.
So I know enough about them to know that they actually fuck with each other, and it's not fake. So I don't think they should have.
I would say Cole got a better chance to bounce back and keep where he pick up where he left off. Aubrey got a rebound from this shit. He got to rethink everything. He got to fire producers, get new ones, find some diamond in the rough producers, all that stuff. He gotta try hard. He gotta figure out everything. You see, he's selling his property and trying to hide for a second. That's what he need to do. Hide for a minute. Go away.
I think my thing is, it's like I think this battle is making it clear that he doesn't know how to read the room. It's like he don't understand how to be mysterious. Yeah.
No,
he don't know.
He doesn't like being mysterious. He likes to be seen.
Like right now is the perfect time for you to just not say nothing.
Do you follow Drake on
Walk Off Into the Sunset
on Instagram?
I don't think I do.
So I follow Drake forever. He's like actually low-key was one of my favorites just because he's like tapped in, always posting random shit, memes, fashion and shit. Like he's a good follow. But pretty much just this beef, like he's just gone. I've never
radio
seen
silent.
That. Yeah, like he'll post, like obviously he has to post because of all the shit he's selling and stuff. Like he has to be seen. But it's like he's not posting on the story. He ain't posting shit. So obviously, like there's a huge kind of shift. Something's going on. Even though people saying he's unbothered, like he clearly is, and like as he should be. Like nobody wants to be caught that shit and have it be the #1 hit.
Oh man.
In the middle of the night when the channel go off and it just got those lines. That's what all this shit is like.
Right, yeah.
Please stand by.
Just fucking white noise.
He's clearly bothered because every time he is public, he says something about it.
Dog, and he got his tour starts on Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah.
It's like he working like he hurting for the money or something. Like what's wrong? What's going on?
What if he is?
That's what niggas is saying. Like he got a gambling problem. You nigga, you more broke than you saying you are.
Yeah, and people saying maybe he's realizing that the money or music's not gonna be as profitable as he thought it was gonna be because the beef just kind of.
Because why you always on tour? Why don't you want to be less accessible, my nigga?
Why you not sitting down?
Yeah, Michael Jackson wasn't on tour. He didn't even do a Thriller tour. Michael Jackson wasn't on tour every year.
He hated touring. Everybody hates touring. Any normal person would hate touring.
This nigga just finished the tour.
And touring sucks.
I know. I mean,
when you rich like that, you can bring your whole life, but it's still not the same.
I was about to say it's probably less sucky for a nigga like him because he got all that money and all that power, but still,
you can't bring your kids around all that.
I don't get it. But we can move on to another subject. We could talk about that some more when the other fellas get here or whatever. Pretty interesting happenings here. I don't know where I should go from here. Fuck it, let's do this and wrap it up. I think we could wrap it up with this. I don't know what I saw or what I was watching, but I saw a post or it was a video of a woman talking, and a man had asked her, like, they were talking about dating, and a man had asked her, like, what do you think a man is supposed to have accomplished by the age of 30? So as two niggas that are over 30, I would love to get you guys' perspectives on that. I know, just to give my input, I know what it felt like to be in my 20s, approaching 30, feeling like I have not done shit. I wasn't close to being rich. I didn't really have my career wasn't really figured out. I mean, I was in my current career before 30, but I didn't feel as secure in it as I do today, and I'm almost 40. So, and by 30, it seems like this woman was basically saying like a nigga is supposed to basically have it figured out. And I think whoever was asking her the question disagreed. What do you guys think a man is supposed to be able to offer a woman or even offer himself by the age of 30?
I think women and a lot of people just have idea of men kind of fucked up. Because, I mean, you know, men don't really peak financially and stuff. Was it like 36? That's usually 35, 36 around that time. That's usually
40 is what I heard, but
and also 30 looks different to everybody depending on the situation and stuff. So I don't know if there's a very clear answer, but I mean there's certain things that I think any person should be doing at 30, I guess, that we can kind of talk about.
Like what? You think a nigga should still be floundering trying to figure it out by 30? Is that
nah? Because I think every day you can pivot. You want to change, try something new. I don't think that's necessarily a case.
So we were 30 in what, 2018? What were you doing in 2018?
I had just moved out. I was working my first corporate job. I just finished school. I was like late. I didn't graduate until 26, 27, something like that. I don't remember how old I was. But I was working my first corporate job. I wasn't loving what I was doing. I was trying to figure out like something what I wanted to do. It wasn't what I expected. So
what were you doing at 30?
In my 30s, 16 years ago, I just had my first child. After not even thinking I can have kids, I was punching the clock, slaved out. I was still free-spirited. I didn't really have, I know what I ultimately wanted to have, but I wasn't necessarily in a rush. I kind of was in a rush to get it, but I kind of was moving at a slower pace, still trying to I guess, participate in life and enjoy life.
Did you feel secure at 30, financially or and otherwise?
At 30, no. 30, my life kind of hit a major. Was that at 30, 16 years ago? My baby was born. No, that wasn't until after. 10 years ago. 16 years ago. No, I definitely wasn't financially stable. I'm still not financially. I'm financially in better position, but I'm still not financially stable. And I got assets probably that the average person don't even have.
Right.
Not being braggadocious or anything, but I don't think you're financially stable until you got just, I don't even know what kind of number in the bank just sitting there in probably the bank in multiple accounts.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's different for each person based on their goals.
Right. So do you
and their
think this
views.
even do you think that it's even fair? That's exactly how I feel. But do you think it's even fair to have an expectation for a person to meet by 30 at all? Any person. Do you think that's fair or realistic?
I no, because life happens. So so as black people, I would say a lot of other races. I think we are probably one of the only races that this is affect. We rush to leave home. We rush to get out of our parents' house. A lot of other races, they don't do that. They stay as long as they as possibly can.
And sometimes they never leave.
They
Or at least
they're
until they're
not
married.
that in itself helps you get ahead financially.
That's a fact. And
So
I don't want to speak for Brandon, but that's kind of something that I've always kind of like, even Calvin. If I know the audience doesn't know who that is. You might not even know who that is, Brandon, but one of my friends, Calvin, one of my oldest friends, Calvin, he's kind of always been lingering around home, and he's kind of like a nomad. This motherfucker been all over the world. He's had a million jobs, and he's just living his life, but he always has home base. His mother is always willing to allow him to come back and reset, and he ends up leaving. He'd be there for 3-4 months, and he'd leave right back out, go get another apartment, or move to a new city. Like he literally just moved to Chicago last week. So, like, I won't say I don't have that option, but I've never tried to exercise that option because as a black man, I felt an immense amount of shame for still living with my mom, and I was only 20.
And you know what? That falls more on men, black men, than black women, because black women do it.
Yeah.
They'll stay with their mom, their aunt, their family years.
Yeah.
But we won't. We feel obligated to get out and do something. To have our own. It's like we're almost forced by the world. I would say we feel forced by the world to get up and get out and do something.
Facts.
When we shouldn't be. We should stay as long as is feasibly available. We should stay at home long. That way we don't feel pressure. That way we can gain these assets at an easier pace, and it's not so stressful on our mental and our pockets.
I think a lot of the pressure is us wanting to have sex with women.
That definitely. I understand that.
Of the reason why we try and move out early.
But I think women, they look down on stuff like that. So it's pressure from them in that sense as well.
Yeah.
What, you still living with your mama? Ugh.
Yeah.
You ain't got your own car? Ugh.
Yeah, it's a
But you don't know
cultural
what's
thing.
going on with my life.
Yeah, it
So
shouldn't matter because it should only the only thing that should really matter is whether or not I'm self sufficient despite where I'm living. Because if I'm able to provide for myself and work a job and keep a job and hold my car down, it doesn't matter where I'm living at. And like you saying, it's like a cultural difference because like we've seen many Chaldeans or Arabs do or Mexicans do in their families, they be at the motherfucking crib. It'd be 3 generations in one house.
yeah.
Whereas opposed to us, like I said, as soon as I turned 20, 21, I felt like, nigga, I should have been gone 3 years ago. And what am I doing? And then I rushed to leave. I think I moved out of my mama's house at 22, 21. And like Brandon just said, the deciding factor for me was when I asked my mom if my girlfriend could come over, and she said no. It was in this apartment that I'm sitting in. My mom was like, no, she can't come over. So at that moment, I was like,
At that moment,
I
you
gotta
knew
go.
you had to
I
leave.
gotta get it. I'ma beat my dick. What a laptop at? What a laptop at? I'ma get it. And I was just like, I gotta have my own space because I gotta get this pussy. Which is ignorant too. And I wish I never did chase it, but like we said a few episodes back, that is a powerful drug there, my guy.
Those 5 things,
Especially
bro.
when it's new. When you just get into it. Oh my
Boy,
God.
boy. Ooh-wee.
When you're green,
Jesus Christ.
To get get it again, because you don't know when you gonna get it.
when you're green, you will chase that shit to the end of the earth, and that's what I did.
Walk through fire for that.
My mama cried when I left, and she was basically like, her reaction was almost like, "Why are you leaving?" And I was just like, I mean, it's more than just pussy because I also wanted to feel the freedom of being able to come and go as I please and having my own space to do what I wanted to do. Because when I was living in this apartment with my mama, I did not like
rules.
it. Yeah.
You got rules. You got to respect your parents. You guys respect, you got rules. You don't, everybody still wants that sense of their own.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's a part of like how black people parent their children, because I think I didn't like the way that my mother would tell me what to do in this motherfucker. And I was like, I gotta go. So 2 years ago, the power had went out where I was living at. And I came back over here. My mother was still living here. And I just spent the night over here because she still had power and I didn't. And it was cold as fuck. I brought my kids over here like, it's too cold in the house to have no power or whatever. So I came over here, stayed, and I was laying down in the living room watching TV. She came out the room like, that TV too loud. And then just that moment right there, I was just like,
all right, y'all ready?
I'm never coming back. I'd rather be in the motherfucking dark.
I think I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. I'd rather be living in the motherfucking dark.
Hey, get y'all coats. Y'all ready?
Because I love being in my crib. I could talk as loud as I want to. I could turn the TV up. I could play music. And I ain't got to worry about no motherfuckers' feelings. Is that a black thing? Because how come other cultures don't?
I think they feel that way, but I think they more so look at the bigger picture almost. And then we got these people that's always chasing us, that we trying to compete with, that fucking Jones family that everybody know, trying to keep people with them Joneses. They everywhere, bro. And sometimes we give in and say, fuck it, I want to stun on these Joneses.
Yeah. Yeah, you right about that.
You
right about that, because I moved out, got myself a car a couple years later. I bought all kind of new equipment and clothes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then got caught up in the same windstorm that everybody else get caught up in.
Yeah, so I think if we look at it if we look at stuff differently, where we're not so afraid and care what the Joneses think, we will be more better off. But like I said, that's a bigger issue that's been bred into us. So they instilled that in us when they bought some of us inside and kept some of us out, and they was choosing the light skins over the dark skin. But I don't want to talk about all that right now.
I don't know what a man should have accomplished by the age of 30. When I was 29, I had my first baby. And shortly after that, I quit my job. When I was 30 is when you and me went and opened up the studio.
I would say at least you got some kind of finances coming in. You could be in between jobs or whatever, but at least you have a goal of trying to get money and you're out there pursuing money. I would say that at a minimum, be it you trying to get it yourself, you're taking steps from trying to get your own money, be your own boss, or whatever. I would say that in itself, that comes before 30. But by 30, like you were saying, your plans can change. Plans gonna change. You could think you gonna be an architect and forget it. That's not feasible because schooling gonna cost you another 40,000. Then you got to work for free for another 3 years. It's just not feasible sometimes. So you just got to find out what works. Sometimes we gotta pivot.
Yeah. Shit. I think Brandon's doing it right. He the only one here that ain't got no kids. So
I can't afford to have kids anymore.
Neither can
you got a kid. You got a kid.
That dog.
I was about to say, I seen him petting him.
Yeah,
So
he got some.
He got a little responsibility, so it's not as tough as ours, but
no, not yeah. There's some aspects of it, but yeah, it's definitely not the same.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we get up out of here, man. This is The Guys Are Watching Live, episode 4. I probably should have labeled this as an off panel, but who cares? We just doing whatever, nigga. This is our channel. But like I said, if you're still here, hit that motherfucking like and the subscribe for me so we can boost this algorithm and we can stop disappointing our families, nigga.
Hold on. Flip that. What y'all think women should have accomplished by 30? Or you want to hold it?
Damn, yeah.
There's some minimums that they should have.
Let's hold it. I think that's a good way to flip it and to bring that topic back.
So we need to bring both of these back with hopefully some women on the panel as well.
Bet I'll leave it in the topic list so I can remember to bring that back when everybody else is here too. But yeah, man, tap in. Fuck with me. Fuck with us. Holla.
The gods are watching.